Welcome to Manga. I am Agent Manga and Record of Ragnarok. I feel so bad about waiting for so long to do this because this is good chapters. What I'm doing right now is just like the end of like the Shiva versus Raiden fight. I like this fight. It was really, well, I'd say it's one of the lower fights. It's not, yeah, it's the weakest fight, I'd have to say, but the end might make it. I'll have to reread the fights again, but it is pretty impressive, this series. Okay, I'll just get started on the, like last chapter, Raiden used his new move and just blew off Shiva's top arms, his two top arms, and basically just disarmed him. And this chapter begins with basically Ares and everybody reacting to Shiva just having his arms blown off. And Hermes is just like, no, is it Hermes? No, Heimdall. Yeah, Heimdall is just mentioning how the strongest destroyer god is just basically has just had basically all his limbs destroyed, and how it's so unexpected. And it's just like all the sumo, all the Japanese people that lived around the time of Raiden, they're like, go Raiden, he's won, he's basically won this thing. But no, Shiva's not done yet. He gets up, and for the rest of this fight, he's just doing it one-handed. He's at a massive disadvantage, and everybody's like, go Lord Shiva, go Lord Shiva. And Shiva, I kinda like him more than Raiden. I kinda like Shiva more than Raiden because, I don't know, I just like him more. I think it was the backstory. I thought he was a dick in the beginning, but I just like him. And like, we get to see Shiva's three wives basically being, yeah, go darling, Lord Shiva, that's my husband for ya. And Ganesh, who seems a lot smaller than what I first saw him. I thought he was a full-grown adult, although in this image it makes him look like a child, so maybe he is just really young, that's why he's not in the tournament. Because Ganesh is the remover of obstacles, so I thought that he would have been considered for the tournament, but if he's just a kid right now, then I don't think he would be in the tournament. He would have even been considered. So that explains it why he wasn't considered, because Ganesh is a child. And we get to see the Greeks basically being like, Shiva better try his best. He basically just got pwned in that last attack. It was such power. And Ares, as normal, is just like the idiot of the group, not knowing what's going on, but getting back to the fight, Shiva's just like spitting out some blood and a tooth. He's like, bring it on. Although he's not really, in his mind, he's like, this is really bad, I'm in a bad corner and I just need some time. And he's like, huh? What's going on? Well, Raiden, his body, yeah, it's at his maximum, but it's just giving out, basically. All the muscles, it's just not handling. He's just not handling this well. It's just, he hasn't fought at his full power for a long, well, ever, and he's just like really, really sore, and everybody's wondering what's wrong, and everything he's done, like all his muscles, it's just, they're finally just giving out. It's just, they're tearing, they're breaking, they're just being exhausted. And like Raiden's body is just like bumping and ripping and tearing, and he's just bleeding. It hurts for him to even walk, and he's like, Throg, do you mind moving my muscles for me? I just can't do it by myself. And she's like, sure, I'll move your muscles for you, but I do believe in you. Like, Raiden's ready is ready to keep going. Well, he's just like, I don't know, it's just, how long have these two, like, it seems like they've been going out, but I don't know if they've been together for long. It's probably just been like a few hours at most that they've like been together. she's like saying that she's in love with him. I don't know, even though when she first met him, he was sleeping with a whole bunch of other women. I don't know. Like, Raiden is now ready to take down Shiva. Although Shiva is really just tired and exhausted, and he looks over to like the top Hindu gods, like Brahma, Vishnu, I can't remember all of them, like all the top ranking gods, and then he sees Rudra, his basically brother. He's like, I can't lose with Rudra watching, so you're gonna have to lose, my friend. And like, she was like, he showed up? I haven't seen him in years. It's my best friend, I haven't seen him in years. And like, I like this. He's just like, he's nearly crying because he hasn't seen him in such a long time, and he was not even sure that he'd be here. And he's like, I gotta keep going. I got all the gods behind me. Every single one of the land of the Indian gods. I think it's Shavarka? Yeah. And Shiva is just about to use this move, where it's basically a transformation where he puts his fingers into his chest, grabs his heart, and just starts pumping. Pumping his heart so it moves faster and faster, making him basically catch on fire. And just like, this is basically what the form is. It's basically what he's supposed to do when all existence is about to be destroyed. He'll destroy all of existence with this form, and it basically makes him look like Jesus. Well, not Jesus, like he goes into an enlightened state, and he just like enters this form, and I love this form. Like, in this series, I just, like, one complaint I've had is that all the fights are just like physical fights. Like, I would have preferred, like, the fights just seem way too physical. Yeah, they're good fights, but I preferred like the Jack versus Heracles fight, because it's just like a good physical brawl. It's a physical brawl, but also a more mental battle. Like, I just feel like they could have like given them unique powers. Like, we see Poseidon, and like Thor is the god of thunder. So I like how in the trailer for the anime, which I'll talk about at the end of this video, it makes it look more, how to say, impressive, even though the art style is lesser than this artwork. It's just like, the attacks don't seem like in the manga, they just seem like pure physical ones. They don't seem as powerful. And like, Shiva opens like his bottom eye and just goes into like his final form, ready to basically kick Raiden's ass. So this fight, keep going. And it's like so hot, like, it's so hot that even gods have a hard time existing in this area. And they're both about to go for their final attacks. This is the final stretch of the fight. And they're like, I'll win. And they both go throwing it up at Raiden using all his best moves, or Shiva entering this new form. And that's the end of chapter 40. And my god, this is a good chapter. Then we get to chapter 41, which was released like a few days after chapter 40, which I like it. I did not want to wait too long, but here we go. Final throwdown. Like, Shiva can only throw one punch at a time. Really good. Like, there are good fire effects here. Just, it makes it feel more divine, this fight, than some of the other ones. Like, this last bit, I say, makes the fight way better than the other ones. Like, all the gods are commenting on how, like, both fighters are at their they're like at their limits. They're trying their best. They're both busting out their most powerful attacks. They're in their strongest forms. And like, I just love this last bit. Like, Raiden pulls out every technique, like his muscle and, like, he grows his hand basically using a partial expansion jutsu type move. And then we get to see basically Raiden's mom just like crying, saying, I'm sorry for always making you work so hard. And she's just upset that her son has to go through such pain. She truly is sad about this, and her son, and everybody is just doing their best. And my favorite part of this chapter is not the end of the fight in this chapter, which I'm not spoiling until the very end, is that throughout this fight, throughout all these blows, every single hit you feel in this chapter, every single one is recorded down with all these artists just drawing this fight. Each one, images of Raiden and Shiva just going all out. And it just shows, like, in the traditional Japanese artwork of, like, Raiden and Shiva just in their current states, just reaching for that battle. And then they just go in for their final attacks. Shiva kicks, puts his hand through Raiden's, puts his foot through like Raiden's hand, and splits it in half, his entire arm. And basically gives him a crocodile arm. Raiden rips it off. Basically just goes, I give up. I can't fight anymore. It's just like, hey, Thrun, get out of here. I don't want you to die. So Thrun doesn't leave because she says she loves him. And then basically Raiden says, thank you for the good fight, man. Shiva says, well, basically, you're one hell of a guy. Thank you for the fight. Basically, goes in for a kick and decapitates Raiden in one attack. And then Raiden's dead, although he does pull a white beard, which I do respect Raiden for. If you don't know what a white beard is basically you die standing up. Basically, you refuse to fall. He just disintegrates, and the winner is Shiva, God of Destruction. And the match length was like 11 minutes. Match length. And I like this like end part of each fight. It's like winner fight between Raiden and Shiva. Match length 11 minutes and 16 seconds. Finishing move Devachra. I think that's it. Winner Shiva. And now we get on to the next fight. Now I want my next fight that I prefer, or I'd like, I don't know what. This is a fight I really want to see. It's Nikola Tesla versus Beelzebub. And this fight, I just see it because it's the two outliers of both teams. Like, Nikola Tesla is the most intelligent fighter in the entire, well, he's a scientist. And then you have Beelzebub, which is one of the seven, which is one of the demon princes. So that's like my personal headcanon I like to see fight. And that's basically it. Oh, and the trailer for the anime. Yeah, the anime is coming out, and I honestly thought that it should have been like, we should get to like this is how it should go. Like, we get around like fight. Like, this is when I thought the anime would be coming out. Like fight 8 or maybe even 9, around then. Like, then they have time to like do the anime, like a few fights, like say up to Jack the Ripper versus Heracles. Then you got like some buffer space for like, I heard that they're going up to Raiden versus Shiva, although I think that they should go to maybe the third fight. They're planning on going up to Shiva versus Raiden, which I've heard it's perfect time since Raiden versus Shiva just ended, which I wouldn't mind. I really love it, a good long anime, but I say the perfect ending point would be the first win for humanity. Like, both Adam and Lubu died, and then Sasaki pulling it up for humanity. But if they're gonna go like this, it's gonna be a pretty grim end to the final fight. It's the final part of the season. It's gonna be like Shiva versus Raiden, and the gods have just pulled ahead again. I don't know, maybe the next fight will be another win for the gods, or maybe a win for humans. I don't think the series will ever do a draw. I do not think that. A draw, I just said, well, the only time I'd accept a draw is at the, like, final match and, like, something else happens and they just say, oh, it's a draw, let's go deal with this big thing. Like, with some gods are planning stuff, like Loki and all that. And although maybe Bashumon might be the next fighter because he was introduced in this fight earlier in the year, and which means he's definitely going to be, he is one of the fighters, one of the 7 lucky gods, so I think he might be the next fighter, him or Beelzebub, which I'd love to see, because Beelzebub is definitely something I want to see, because he's a demon, but in this series, demons can be considered gods, like the incubus and the snake that tempted Eve. Those are demons, so I heard that was in Lucifer. Like, that guy went out like a bitch. And, the anime, I say the art style isn't the greatest, although I do like the effects they do to the anime. It makes it look more stylish. Yeah, the artwork in the anime is not as good. It's fine. It's passable. It's passable. I say it's just possible. If it was like if they did a lot of CGI, if they did like the CGI crap, I would not like it. But this artwork, this is really high artwork. Yeah, we have seen characters in color, like the main fighters in their colors, and I do say that artwork, the colored artwork in the manga, is better than the colored artwork in the anime. But I'm still fine with it. I'm fine with it that we're even getting an anime. It's amazing. Although I was expecting around fight 8 or 9 would get the anime. But hopefully there will be more watches of the series, because this is a good series. It's one of my top 10 and I just love it. It's a good series. And that's basically it. Like, comment, subscribe. This is Wave Manga. I'm Agent Manga, signing out.